like to start with this statistic right here. Suicide has become the third leading cause of death for black men between the ages of 15 and 24. That's what the report says from a disease control group in 2010. So I don't even know if it's more now. And it's really crazy. It's closer to us than we think. It's a taboo topic for a lot of people in the church. In fact, I don't know if I should say this online, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We lost one of our colleague pastors. We had a young pastor who took his life last year, man. The end of last year, he took his own life. Young dude in his 20s, just started ministry. Nobody knew anything was wrong with him. So I just wanted to start with the question, my good friend. Why is it so hard for men nowadays to consult or go check out their mental health? What is it with us?
Well, I appreciate the question. First, let me just say hi to everybody. They've been talking about me, so I'll just say a little bit about myself. I am Dr. Jameson Mercier, Doctor of Marriage and Family Therapy, and licensed clinical social worker. And to answer your question, so why is it hard for men? Men, part of it is our fault, but part of it is societal, in my opinion. I think we have a hard time because we were not brought up to discuss these things. So that's the men piece. Within our culture, we have no models, or very few models, I can say, of the things that we're now discussing.
Right.
I can tell you, when I grew up, I didn't have anybody that I knew who was going to talk to a counselor. I don't know that the young men that we're talking about now have seen their father, uncle, brother talk to a counselor themselves. So for boys, we need models.
Yeah.
And what is being modeled for boys is that we gotta be tough.
Yeah.
That's the model that young boys see.
Men don't cry.
Men do not cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact is we don't
Which is
cry.
a lie, by the way.
Right. The fact is we don't cry in public.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna be honest, we cry in the car.
Yeah.
We cry on the side of the road.
Yeah.
We may even cry in the bathroom.
Especially in the bathroom.
It's okay to cry in the bathroom, but we dare not share feelings and emotions that are just tearing us down day in and day out. The thing about suicide, and it's terrible regardless of where it's happening or within what demographic. I had a colleague a couple of years ago who she also died by suicide.
My God.
And she was in my doctorate program with me. So no one's immune.
Right.
Okay, so no one is immune to the stress, the depression. You can't pray hard enough.
Yeah.
Let's just get that straight. There is not one single prayer that will cure or prevent you from having a mental illness. Rather, we need to pray and see a therapist.
Come on. Yeah.
All right. Prayer and therapy
Pray and act.
go hand in hand.
That's right.
So I just want to make that point.
Wow. This is so true, man, and especially in the church, people don't want to come out and say how they're truly feeling because they don't want to be seen as you don't have enough faith or you're not praying hard enough.
Well, it isn't that they don't want to be seen as that, and similar to the young man in the poem, we often blame people for their own mental illness. So if someone came to you and said, I feel sad and I just feel like, I'm struggling, I don't know what God's will is for me.
Right.
As a good Christian, you will say to him, you should read the word more.
Wow. Yeah.
As a good Christian, you might say, hey, join a Bible study. Or maybe you're not praying enough.
So what you're doing, you're casting blame on the person.
It's classic victim shaming, victim blaming. Except we don't see that, right? Because the church, we believe, and again, I'm not here to cast any stone, but we believe that if you're doing it right, then you shouldn't have these problems.
When some problems are just clinically diagnosed, there's just clinical things and natural things that people go through that you need a doctor for.
And there's nothing you could have done to prevent some of those things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it isn't that you're a bad Christian. It isn't that God is not good. God is good, and these things also happen.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you said, these kind of things, they're no respecter of person. It doesn't matter whether they're religious or irreligious, atheist, believing God, whoever you are.
No.
Everybody in every sector suffer from mental
absolutely
illness.
Even if we not just read, but if we study the Bible and we look at some of the writings, and if we think critically, we have to come to the conclusion that some of the people in the Bible that we quote and that we seek to emulate dealt with some mental illness.
Wow.